student. Welcome to Standard 10th History, Chapter 4 History of India Art, Part 7. In the previous lecture, we have studied the iconography, and iconography is a branch of knowledge which includes everything about God and goddesses. So this we have studied earlier. Then we have seen the bronze images of Shiva and Parvati, then Nataraj, Vishnu, etc. Now in this chapter, my dear student, we are going to study architecture and sculpture. There are a number of rock-cut caves in India. The tradition of rock-cut caves organized in India in the 3rd century before Common Era. So 3rd century onwards, these rock-cut caves, their work was going on, and thus this tradition started by then. Technically, the entire composition of a rock-cut cave represents a union of architecture and sculptural art. So, a marvelous piece of architecture and sculptural art. So, it is combined together. It's the union of both of them. Its entrances, interior with its carved column and images are excellent specimens of sculptural art. The paintings on the wall and ceilings have survived in some of the caves till today. So we are told that 3rd century onwards till today, we are in 21st century, until today the paintings could be seen over there on the ceilings and on the wall. The rock-cut caves at Ajanta and Peru in Maharashtra were declared as World Heritage in 1983. So if we could see the entrance of Ajanta cave number 19, beautifully carved out. You could see the carvings over here so nicely, and we could see the top floor, the down floor, the entrance. At the entrances, the two pillars, two figures, and both the side you can see the figures, different figures, minute design you could see, then even the arch shape and the minute design over there, so very beautifully carved out of one single stone. The temple architect in India began to develop around 4th century Common Era. So now during this time, the temple architect also started getting developed. During the Gupta period, the temples built at the beginning of the Gupta period had only sanctum sanctorium, which means Garbhagriha. Sanctum means the holy, sanctorium means the most holy place where God dwell. That place is called sanctum sanctorium, the holiest of the holy place, Garbhagriha. So from which griha the God dwells, it is called Garbhagriha. And so in the beginning only Garbhagriha and a veranda with 4 columns. So outside the temple only 4 columns were there, and on top it is covered, and then followed by Garbhagriha, Sanctum Sanctorium. So in this way, earlier the temples were during the 4th century. Later on, the temple architecture in India had reached its peak by the 8th century Common Era. This is easily testified by the magnificent composition of the Kailash temple of Peru. So we have seen earlier Kailash temple at Peru, and it's the marvelous piece of architecture over there. So this Kailash temple we could see over here, it is carved out of one single mountain. The work started from top, from the tower, and then they came down carving out. So you could see how high the mountain is. Yes, you could make out the height from the figures which given there below. Even the elephant is there, and beneath at the foot of elephant you could see the human figure, or even the ladies with colorful saris, and temple above. So how high the temple is, that much height the mountain, even the behind you could see the mountain over there. So they started carving out from the top, and then they came down. Last time I had told you that Adikalas Magpaya. So this is a beautiful piece of art which is carved out of single mountain. So this is the Kailash temple. So temple architect was done. You could see one corner and the other corner, the one pillar and the other pillar, their carvings exactly like same. You know, the masterpiece it is called. Even the many foreigners go to visit these places, because the technique at that time they had developed so much in the fields of architecture is marvelous. By the medieval period, various styles of temple architecture had developed in India. So you could see one of the figure over here, the Nagara style of temple art. So the minute detail you could see. The style of temple architecture are identified by the style of the tower, that is Shikara. The Nagara style of North India and the Dravid style of South India are the two principal styles of Indian temple architecture. So you could see the Nagara style of towers and the Dravida style of towers. We can see here in the Nagara style, the towers are narrow on top and bottom. Also in the Nagara style, it just goes on tapering. Even the same thing with Dravida style, the from bottom to top it goes on tapering, but on top it is not that much tapered. And you could also see so many figures are depicted over here, god and goddesses, and the entrance door over there. So this is the style of Dravida temple of art. The Nagara style of North India and the Dravida style of South India are the two principal style of Indian temple architecture. A blend of these two styles is known as Vesara style. The Bhumija style seen in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra has a close resemble to the Nagara style from the structural viewpoint. So in Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, what we see is a Nagara style type of view. In the Bhumija style, series of miniature towers are arranged, which become smaller towards the top. Quite a many different towers are there. Hence, the towers appear to be continuously rising from the base of the temple to the top. So, from base to the top, these towers keep on rising. So, in this way, the Bhumija style is been discovered. So, Bhumi means the land, and Bhumija from the land the tower kept on rising, and several towers together is been discovered, is been built, and they keep on continuously rising up. This is called the Bhumija style of temple. My dear student, it is interesting to know temples in Maharashtra built in 12th and 13th centuries are known as Hemadpanthi temple. 12th and 13th century. This Hemadpanthi temple, the outer wall of the temple are built in a star shape. So outer wall, star shape, they are built, and in the star shape plan, the outer wall of the temple has a zigzag design. So it has a zigzag design. This result into an interesting effect of alternating light and shadow effect. So light falls on the top of the lines, and inside the shadow effect is being seen. The important characteristics of Hemadpanthi temple is its masonry. It is built in the stones, and therefore the masonry work is very important. The characteristics of Hemadpanthi is masonry work. The walls are built without using any mortar. Mortar means the mixture of cement and sand, or mixture of lime and some other material, so that it becomes like a sticky substance to hold these stones. Then how it was built? So the walls are built without using any mortar by locking the stones by using the technique of tenon and mortise joint. So this was the technique used in building the temples. It is tenon and mortise. So in Marathi it is called kus and khobna. Okay, so it is I would say that when the bridges are built, the stones are cut in such a way and affixed on each other that the structure will not collapse. So in this way the tenon and mortise are affixed in a joint, so there is no use of mortar or the cement or anything. The Ambeshwar temple at Ambernath near Mumbai, Gondeshwar temple at Sinnar near Nasik, Aundhnath temple in the Hingoli district are the few finest temples of the Hemadpanthi style. Their plan is star shape. So you could see the star shape over here. The star shape, please have a look of it. The Hemadpanthi temples are found at several places in Maharashtra. So you could see here, as I told you, the towers Bhumija style. So right from bottom, the towers are built from top to from bottom to top. Here, every tower has been built from top to the top, from bottom to the top. I'm sorry. So in this way, and there were more or less 5 towers uh, around the around the temple, and it is the part of temple, but 4 corners and one more tower was built. So in this way, the architecture began in 12th and 13th century, which is considered as Hemarpanti temple style. In the medieval period, under the patronage of Muslim Sultanate, many styles of architecture such as Persian, Central Asian, Arabic and pre-Islamic native Indian styles were blended together, creating the Islamic architecture of India. Many beautiful buildings were created. The Kutub Minar at Mehrauli near Delhi, Taj Mahal at Agra, Gol Gumbaz at Bijapur in Karnataka are the world famous examples of these of these. So you could see this structure, beautiful structure. In this way, the construction of the building of Kutub Minar started during the reign of Kutubuddin Aibak, that is in 12th century Common Era, and was completed in the reign of Altmash in 13th century. So it took almost 100 or even more than 100 years. Kutub Minar is the highest minaret in the world. It is 73 meter, which means 240 feet. The highest minaret is 240 feet in height. The Kutub Minar complex of building has been declared as World Heritage. So you could see here not only Kutub Minar, but even the downside the structure is there. This entire thing is considered as the World Heritage Site. You could see the beautifully built, the color, also the color combination, brown color you can see, and height is 240 feet, the highest minaret in the world. So my dear student, we have seen so far the architecture and sculpture, in that several styles of temple. We have seen Nagara style and Dravida style, then Versa style of temple, Bhumija style of temple we have seen. Then we have seen also the temples which were built, Hemadpanthi temple in Maharashtra, and these is without mortar. The stones are carved out, and they are affixed in each other, tenon and mortise joint, and the temples are built. Then we have seen the Gondeshwar temple at Sinnar, and such temples like Ambarnath temple near Mumbai, Gondeshwar temple at Sinnar, and Aundnath temple in Hingoli district are the example of Hemadpanthi temple. Then we have also studied a part of it, that is the Islamic architecture. And among the Islamic architecture, we have studied the Kutub Minar, which was started building in the 12th century by Kutubuddin Aibak, and it was completed by Altmash in 13th century. Its height is 73 meter, that is 240 feet. The tallest minar in the world is been seen in our nation. So that's all for today, my dear student. We'll continue the Mughal architecture in the next period. Till then, goodbye and have a nice time.